20 years ago, doctors told us to stay away from high-fat foods like butter, cheese, bacon, and eggs because they raised cholesterol and could lead to heart disease. America responded and stopped eating fat. In its place, however, we ate more sugar and other carbohydrates. And how'd that work out? Not great. As a whole, Americans grew fatter and sicker than before. It looks like back then, scientists may have reached the wrong conclusion. A growing number of medical experts now say things like weight gain, heart disease, and other illnesses are not caused by cholesterol, but by something different called inflammation. That means instead of avoiding foods that raise our cholesterol, we need to avoid foods that cause inflammation. Dr. Beverly Teeter studies how different kinds of fat in food affect our health. She says scientists wrongly blamed cholesterol for heart disease when they saw high levels of it in damaged blood vessels. Teeter believes the body put the cholesterol there to fix the problem, which was actually caused by something else, inflammation.
It's the inflammation in the vessels that start the lesion. The body then sends the cholesterol like a scab to cover over it and protect the blood system and that vessel wall from further damage.
Research also shows cholesterol can protect against respiratory and gastrointestinal problems, helps create vitamin D, and people with high cholesterol tend to live longer.
I come from a family that my mother's side had naturally high cholesterol. Her cholesterol was between 380 and 420 when I started watching her medical records, and she died at 97. So I don't think that cholesterol was too bad for her.
It's also especially important in the brain, which contains more cholesterol than any other organ and needs cholesterol in order for brain cells to pass messages to each other. So when it comes to food choices, Dr. Teeter says don't worry if it raises your cholesterol. Focus your attention on reducing inflammation with omega-3s and natural saturated fats. Some fats, however, cause inflammation, so avoid too many omega-6s and trans fats. How do you tell the healthy omega-3s from the unhealthy omega-6 fats? Vegetable oils and mayonnaise contain high levels of omega-6s, so be careful how much you consume. As far as omega-3s, such as fish, olive oil, and walnuts, take an extra helping or a daily fish oil supplement. At one time, dietitians considered margarine, a trans fat, heart healthy. We now know a better choice is butter. In the last 20 years, trans fats have become the ingredient of choice for almost all processed foods. You can tell something contains trans fat if you see the word hydrogenated in the list of ingredients. Natural saturated fats can also cut down on inflammation. Topping the list, coconut oil, which fights colds and the flu and has even reversed the symptoms of Alzheimer's, ALS, and Parkinson's disease in some people. Now that you know some of the good about fats, you should also remember those foods that make you fat and increase inflammation. On that list, it's hard to top sugar and other refined carbohydrates, wheat, corn, rice, and so on. So when it comes to your health, inflammation beats out cholesterol as the new enemy. Take it on by saying yes to foods like fish and coconut oil and no to sugar, other carbs, and trans fats.